Hi everyone, Carolina Slosberg here of Chesapeake Beach, Maryland. I am in So Busy Studio today finishing a wedding gown. Nobody's getting married. I just had some excess fabric and believe it or not, this beautiful French lace. And the trim is not French, it's made here in the US of A. But, excuse me, it was stained. So it has some, well, first of all, it's fully lined. And it had some yellowing, so it was not sellable. I could not sell this particular piece of fabric. And it came in a large roll. There was only about 6 yards, 7 yards, maybe. And so I decided to just showcase what you can do with some of the fabrics that I have here in the studio. And right now I am putting some additional trim. I have added trim to the front of the wedding gown. I've added trim to the top of the wedding gown. And this is the very bottom of it. So I am adding trim to this as well. Just because whoever said less is more has never sewn a wedding gown. More is more, and you always want more when you're the star of the show. So let me show you how I'm sewing this. I'm trying to go on either side, but on these I have sewn on both sides just to give it more stability. But on the bottom, because it's got such a nice bounce and gathering, I'm just going to do it on top. And I would recommend that you do this with your zipper foot because it's going to give you a nice surface to sew on. I'm lazy. I don't like changing my feet all of the time. So I'm sewing it on a regular foot and I'm just maneuvering the fabric. If you're beginning to sew, you don't want to do that. You want to sew with the small foot to give you a little bit more room. Do as I say, not as I do. And I believe Bernina has a beading foot and a cording foot that you can use as well. A lot of machines have that now. I'm just going, let me see if I can move this camera a little closer, you guys. Okay, just want to show you. I am going around the beading. So give me a minute and I'll show you what I mean. I'm trying to get this lower so you can see. There we go. I think you should be able to see. Move my chair. Technical difficulties much. Miss So Busy. Okay. So here's the beads. And I'm basically just going around it. And to the Bernina ladies in the group, Bernina 7 series group, thank you guys so much for your wonderful feedback and comments. It's so good to be part of a group where there's not a lot of bitterness and people are encouraging each other. And I was so honored to hear all of your comments. And it just really made me smile yesterday at the end of the day. So to the very last comment, I forget your name. I promise that I will finish this today and I will share it in the group. I'm hoping that I inspire, others to see. Now, this is why you have to get a smaller foot, because now I have a bead in the middle and it'll break my needle if I continue on. Now, if you're beginning to sew, you wouldn't know what to do right now, but I'm telling you, I'm going to have to cut my thread. You see that? And then go around, which is, it's silly, but like I said, I'm a lazy sewer. So if I was selling this or if it was going to be judged by anyone, I would probably be using a zipper foot. But after 35 plus years of sewing, I just try to look for the fastest way possible. And for me, that is it. Just sew around it, Carolina. You have plenty of needles if they break, right? This fabric gathered is just amazing. It's so beautiful. I wish you guys could be here and see the sheen on this fabric. It's completely embroidered, and it actually comes lined, you guys, so you don't have to do anything. You just make the dress. Obviously, if I was selling this or making it for someone, you can see that it comes fully lined, and you can see the beautiful lace in the front. I would put a bralette, maybe some, I don't know, some other kind of bra insert or lining. And also, I have been known to use boning a lot in a lot of my gowns and dresses that I have made in the past. It gives you an additional push, much like the type of push that you would get on your upper chest and breast area from wearing a corset. So a lot of brides and a lot of people that are in pageants or having a party and doing a formal fit, they prefer the boning, because it accentuates their upper area in a very, very nice way. So if I was making this for someone, they may want some boning on the upper area, or they may just want a bra insert. I did cut sleeves for this dress, but because the fabric is so beautiful, I really wanted to showcase the fabric. So I think I'm going to leave it strapless. That way you can really appreciate the gathering at the bottom of the dress. And I'm also working on a veil. And again, it's going to be embroidered French lace. And I'm very excited because my daughter offered to model it. So I will be sharing the pictures of this beautiful wedding gown with my daughter, Christina, who is not getting married, but was kind enough to tell me that she would wear the dress when I'm done. I think probably because she saw how excited I was about how it was coming out. So I was working on the mannequin with it yesterday, and she had she just was not having it. She was not trying to help me with trying to fit this. So I made it a larger size. Christina is a size 4. I know, though, we all wish. But I made it more like a size 12, I believe. This is a self-drafted gown. I do not sew with patterns much because when I was about 4.5, 5 years old, my grandmother taught me how to sew with just by sight, pretty much. And we did use some patterns every once in a while because she used to make batas, which are house dresses for the women in the neighborhood in Sevilla, Spain, where I'm originally from. So I could make a pattern for you if you decide that you like, or you might want to try this. But I honestly, I mean, there's so many pattern companies that offer beautiful gown suggestions, but this is my own personal design, and I'll be sharing the finished dress on Instagram and my Pinterest and also on my Facebook page. So this is what it looks like done. This is the very bottom. So this is actually going to be hanging on the floor. I get asked a lot how I come up with my ideas. This particular idea came to me night before last, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm crazy like that. When I get an idea, I have to put it into play. I have to sew it or I have to embroider it because then it goes away from me and I don't see it as clearly. I saw this vintage gown in my dream, and I don't know if you guys have this as a sewist or even a beginner sewist. When you dream and breathe sewing, you have these vivid dreams. And I have dreams about fabric designs and all kinds of stuff, you guys. I know, just crazy. But I dreamt about this design, and I was looking for a way to use this fabric because I couldn't let it sit there just because it had a couple of stains. I knew I couldn't sell it, so I figured, why don't I just make a wedding gown and then just show everybody what they can do with our beautiful So Busy Studio fabrics. So this is just trim in the front that I have placed, and I've also put it on top, as I said, and I have now transferred it to the bottom. I am not sewing it because I just think that that looks very vintage and very well placed. There, that's what I wanted to say. So the bottom is going to stay like this. I did this with my Bernina 1100 DA, and I also worked on this dress. A lot of the work on this is done with the Viking Husqvarna 905, which is currently available for purchase. So, as I said, this dress is fully lined. Will be when I'm done. I am going to add a zipper in the very back. The bottom half is already closed off. And let me show you. I made a low, very, very low waist in keeping with that 20 style. But I wanted to show you how I put it together right here, because you can see where they came together, and it's a pretty good fit how they came together there. So you have your line here, and when Christina puts this dress on, it'll be very, very low waist, flapper style inspired maybe, but I think it'll turn out nice. And with the veil and headband that I'm making, just stay tuned and let me know what you think. And if you're interested in some of our beautiful bridal fabrics, all you have to do is message me via Facebook, or you can call the studio line at 443-646-6785. This is Carolina Slosberg. I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, ladies from the Bernina 7 series group, thank you so much. I can't wait to continue to post my creations with you guys. You were great, and it really put a smile on my face. Thank you so much.